Sup guys, GuideRanger here. Now I will be showing you the Elementalist Berserker build where I will be dealing a lot of damage while at the same time I will be supporting my allies by giving them might and fury. Now first I will be talking how you can support, and then I will be talking about my equipment and the build. Now I am using a trait which whenever I use a combo finisher blast like Phoenix, and Phoenix has a combo finisher blast or Dragon's Tooth, whenever I use a combo finisher blast in a combo field fire, I will give to myself and to my allies might and fury. So now I will show you. So first I will be using Ring of Fire, then I will be using Phoenix. At the same time I will be using Arcane Wave, and Arcane Wave has another bonus which I will tell you after this, and also Arcane Brilliance. So I have 4 combo finisher blast, but I can't show you Dragon's Tooth mostly because this will go too much forward and I will not be able to place Ring of Fire and get this bonus. So I can show you with only 3 combo finisher. Now I should be able to give about 33 seconds of fury and about 20 to 21 seconds of might with 9 stacks. So Ring of Fire, Phoenix. This NPC got, okay, so it has a little bit more range, and I have 25 seconds of fury, and till I use the skills they will start to go down, and also about 20 seconds of might. I will show you again the might. So I will wait for it to finish, and I will immediately show you the might. Yes, as I told you, about 21 to 20 seconds of might. Now, as for my equipment, I have Berserker, exotic Berserker equipment. So they are all exotic Berserker equipment. While I am using the Rune of Flame Legion, mostly because the other runes cost a little bit. And for example, if I buy the Rune of Scholar, which to get a full set you need about 25 gold just to get 6 more critical damage. So for 6 more critical damage and 3 more extra damage while your HP is above 90%. So I am using this one, and because the enemy will surely always be burning, you can say that I am almost always going to deal that 7% additional damage, and even the enemies will have longer burning. As for my equipment, I am also using a Berserker Scepter and a Berserker Dagger, while I am using backpiece, trinkets and accessories. So I am using 6 in fire, 6 in air magic and 2 in arcana. Now most people would use earth magic and then they would use stone splinters, so they will be, you can say, almost always be dealing 10% extra additional damage, but because I am mostly supporting, then I will surely would need and require that extra 10% boon duration, while at the same time I will be using Arcane Mastery, so these 3 skills will have shorter cooldown, which is the heal, the Arcane Shield, which will give me a lot of protection and survivability in that 5 seconds, while also the Arcane Wave, which I will be using it to support my allies. So as for the fire magic, I have chosen so that my weapons will have 10 more charges. So instead of 15 I will have 25 charges. Because I will mostly be using fire attunement, then I have chosen this one, but it's your choice, but I have chosen this one, so I will be dealing 10% extra additional damage, but there are a lot of choices. And as for the last one, I am using Persistent Flames, and with this one is the support skill that I told you. And also I forgot to mention that now the Ring of Fire has a duration of 7 seconds, which originally it has a duration of 5 seconds. So it has 2 more seconds, and in those 2 more seconds I and maybe even another Elementalist or another class would use a blast finisher and will have more stacks of might. Now if you don't want to use this kind of setup that I told you, so use Ring of Fire and use the blast finishers and then use Frostbow or use Fiery Greatsword, then you can use this one. And with this one, whenever you use a skill, even a utility skill, then you would gain might. And as for air magic, the first one I have chosen, so when the enemy has 33% or less HP, then I would do 20% increased damage. And as for the second one, I have chosen Arcane Lightning, and as I said, I would tell you in detail now. With this one, whenever you use an arcane skill, which I have 3 arcane skills in the utility, I would gain the Arcane Lightning, you could call it buff, so it can't be taken away. And with this one, for 15 seconds, which whenever you use a skill, it will reset, so I will just show you. So first I will use Arcane Shield. And when it's 10 seconds, I will use another one. I will use Arcane Brilliance, and again, it has started from 15 seconds. So instead of stacking, it resets, or its timer resets to 15 seconds. And this will give you 150 Fury, which will amount to 10% more critical damage. So here is my critical damage, which is 219. And then, as I told you, you would use Ring of Fire and Phoenix, and then the Arcane Wave, and if you want, you can waste your healing and even use Arcane Brilliance, and that's what I will do. So Ring of Fire, Phoenix, and Blast and Brilliance. And now I have Might, Fury, and also the 10% extra critical damage. So here I have the extra 10% critical damage. And then as for the last one, I honestly didn't find a skill which really comes with my playing style. If you want, or for most people, you would like to exchange the attunements, and then you would want to have this, which is Lightning Strike, so whenever you exchange to a attunement, then you would deal damage, like this one, like Sunspot, that whenever you exchange to fire, you would deal damage. And you can use Fresh Air. Now with Fresh Air is that whenever you deal critical damage, even when you have a Frostbow or Fiery Greatsword, then the air attunement will immediately recharge, and this doesn't have a cooldown, so it will immediately recharge, and you can deal again Lightning Strike. So you are air, so for example you are air attunement. So for example you were fire, then you switch to air and dealt the Lightning Strike. Then you switch to earth, hit, and you crit. So you will again change to air, which I can't change at the moment. And after you are in air, you will deal again Lightning Strike. Then you would wait for that almost 1 second. You would change again to water, and you would again hit. And then you would again critically hit, exchange to air. Then after you change to air, you exchange to fire, and you continue like that. And maybe some people would find it a little bit hassle in that quick reactions that you must make, even maybe your party members are dying or you can't even beat that boss. So Fresh Air might be a little bit more for the advanced, or for those people that would like their playing style to quickly change the attunement. It will really do a lot of damage, but personally I don't use the playing style of changing the attunement, so I have just put Smoothing Winds.
Nice thick dragon steak for the journey home.
Mostly because there isn't a good bonus which the air will give to those who will only use fire and won't use any glyphs or auras. So this is the only good skill that I found. Okay, so now I am going to show you, first using the Ring of Fire Blast, but I'm not going to use the healing skill. Then I'm going to attack the boss, and that's the kind of damage that you will be dealing in a stacked area. and killed. So, as I showed you, first I had the Fury, then the Might, then I also had the 10% more critical damage, and also I had the Frostbow. So that's all guys about this build. This build is really strong and really supportive at the same time by giving them conjuncture weapons which are really strong and powerful. Like, subscribe and leave a comment behind. Check out my videos for more trade builds that I have. I have a playlist of trade builds for trade builds that I have and for upcoming trade builds that I will be posting. I will be posting all in that playlist, and so you can just click on that playlist and see what kind of class I have and what kind of build you want to see and maybe use. I hope you found this video very helpful, and you will surely be using this build because this build is very strong and quite supportive, and you will surely have some people telling you do you want to join another dungeon with them, because you would be very helpful in dealing a lot of damage, supporting them by giving them conjunctured weapons which will deal a lot of damage, while at the same time you will give them almost permanent fury and might for that fight. So that's all guys, I hope to see you again and see you next time in another video. Bye bye and have a great weekend.